Alright, let's see if the WWE can Royal Rumble, bumble, and stumble their way out of a bad start for the year. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling blog, who always tells it like it is. Sadly, couldn't get on the Thunderdome list for the Rumble itself, but I have a shot at Raw. So if you see a sign that says Royal Rumble 2022 Marlins Park Please on one of the screens, you'll know it's me. And I'll harass WrestleView as they watch it live today. So, the 34th Royal Rumble event starts the long and winding road to WrestleMania that will pretty much remain in Tampa the whole time. After that, who knows where the Thunderdome will end up. Back in the Performance Center, in the CWC, somewhere in Jacksonville or Tallahassee. As long as it's north of Palm Beach County until everyone is vaccinated, that would be great. And this pay-per-view had better be great, as it'll probably be the last Rumble on the WWE Network before it's absorbed into the Peacock Network. And 2021 has not started off well for them, so they needed that billion-dollar boost from NBC Universal for going behind Fox Disney's back. I mean, Raw's been a train wreck since Randy Orton set fire to The Fiend, with Orton and Alexa Bliss playing one-upsmanship, plus Retribution still knocking out the weak, including Xavier Woods, because they can't beat actual wrestlers. And of course, Drew McIntyre developing COVID-19 just as Goldberg decides he needs a WWE title in his collection. Not that SmackDown's been anything to sneeze at either. Oh sure, they're better than Raw. But last Friday, with a singles match into a 6-man, into a 5-on-4 handicap, into a 10-man? Make up your damn minds! At least Roman Reigns as the enigmatic a-hole has been entertaining, though we need to find someone besides Kevin Owens to fight him. Throw in the chaos between the Flairs, both tag team titles going to teams who don't defend them, and R-Truth refusing to just give up the 24/7 title and retire. And you can see why this pay-per-view is the WWE's last best hope to salvage January and get the road to WrestleMania off to a roaring start. Here are my predictions for Royal Rumble 2021. Let's start with the SmackDown Women's Championship rematch. Sasha Banks defends against Carmella. Again, it just baffles me that someone who has had only 2 or 3 matches since returning to the WWE is still getting title consideration. I guess Carmella is following prison rules and going after the toughest SOB in the yard, or DOB in this case. But a concierge, or whatever he is, does not a champion make, especially one who got his ass handed to him by Banks a few weeks ago. Yeah, Reginald's a non-factor in this. There's a slim chance Carmella just might sneak out a win, but I really want Banks to get over 100 days as a champ. Winner and still champion, Sasha Banks. Women's Tag Team Championships. Raw champ Asuka and 11-time champ Charlotte Flair in a rematch with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Really? The Riot Squad wasn't good enough? Or Dana Brooke and Natalya? You have a team who just can't seem to get along? Trying to retake the titles from a team who isn't really a team? I mean, if they were a team, Asuka would have had Charlotte's back whenever Lacey Evans showed up. Pardon. Personally, I want this to end in a double DQ and neither team hold the titles. But as Baszler and Jax are an actual team, more or less, I think they'll keep the getting disqualified egos in check enough to win. Winners and new champions, Baszler and Jax. Universal title last man standing match. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. Do I have to truly go into why Reigns is going to remain champ? Do I have to explain that's essentially 2.5 on 1 here in this no DQ match where the only way to win is to keep your opponent off his feet for a 10 count? Look, I like KO, alright? His almost Mick Foley-esque willingness to do whatever it takes to excite the crowd is charming, really. And the fact that he wants to be the one who takes down the head of the table is admirable, but Reigns has been in tougher battles when he was in part of the Shield. And with Jey Uso and, to a point, Paul Heyman at his side, he's not going to give up the title he fought leukemia to win easily. Winner and still champion, Roman Reigns. WWE Championship match, Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg. Yeah, because when in doubt, toss in a Hall of Famer who's still under contract to fight twice in a calendar year. Here's hoping they hold Goldie back for his second match until they return to Saudi Arabia again. Unlike TLC, I don't see The Miz cashing in this time. It's so close to WrestleMania that he might as well wait until then, like Seth Rollins did. Goldberg has not been in a match that lasted more than 10 minutes since he started coming back. All Drew really has to do is outlast him. Goldie will put on a good show, but if he wins the title... I don't think he will, though. But not because of Drew. You see, Braun Strowman is back and he is pissed that he didn't get a shot after Survivor Series. I think he'll clobber Drew, who will win and retain by disqualification, and then survive a spear and jackhammer by Goldie like he did last April, and pummel the strongest Jew in history since Samson so that he won't show up until later in the year. Fourth annual 30 Women Royal Rumble. Winner receiving a Raw, SmackDown, or NXT Women's title match at WrestleMania. As much as I'd love to see Natalya get some high recognition, I don't think she's going to get it, even with number 30 spot. I'm sure that if Tamina is still in the match, she'll laser focus on the Queen of Hearts and make her pay. I would also love for Baszler to win, but she'll be tag co-champ at the time, and those in tag teams never win Rumble matches, so toss out Jax, and Charlotte as well, just for shiggles. I'm hoping for comebacks from, at the least, Becky Lynch. Yeah, probably still recovering from childbirth, I'm sure, but who knows? A lot of talk about Ronda Rousey finally returning. Having her actually in the Rumble would be a sight to see. My secondary choice would be Bayley, simply by experience, but my primary pick? Bianca Belair. She's been on a roll since coming from NXT, and she's out to prove she really is the EST of the WWE. I think it'll come down to Baylor versus Belair, and one of them will win. My good money, were I gambling, is on Bianca Belair, though I'm not counting Bayley out. Finally, the 34th annual Pat Patterson Memorial Men's Royal Rumble. Winner getting a WWE Universal NXT title match at WrestleMania 37. Not a lot of rookies this time around. Nearly everyone who has been announced in a match has been in at least one Rumble. 3 have won the Rumble, and Orton's won twice. Very interesting fact is that it's been announced that Edge and Orton will start off the match. They usually don't pre-announce a number 1 or number 2 unless at least one of them is going to stick around near the end. When Mr. McMahon said he and Steve Austin would start the 99 Rumble, the 2 were the last 2 in, though they spent most of their time outside the ring. When Reigns was announced as number 1 for the 2016 Rumble, he was the next to last man out of the ring. Yeah, I know Brock Lesnar was number 1 last year, but he asked for that one. Either Edge and or Orton is going to make it to the end, but I don't see either of them winning. I'm hoping Seth Rollins returns, or maybe Goldberg sneaks in, or hell, let R-Truth lose the 24/7 title during it, because chaos is always good in a Rumble. But my primary pick? Daniel Bryan. Much like Goldberg, he has only 2 titles left to collect on this. His final go-round as a full-timer. Royal Rumble winner and Universal Champion. He'll come in late, maybe 27. Haven't had a winner there in 20 years. And outlast even Edge and Orton to make it to WrestleMania again. If not him, maybe Sheamus. They built up McIntyre Sheamus for a long time. Maybe it's time to pay it off. Those are my picks. Again, I will live tweet at Chris Wolvie until they lock my account again. And as stated, I'll buzz WrestleView with facts about the Rumble. Your last chance, WWE. Make it count. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlog who always tells it like it is. Stay safe, and I'll see you.